Thank you. Could I ask those members of the public who are leaving the public gallery, who are of course very welcome in our Parliament, to please do so quickly and quietly, because we are about to go into the next item of business. And the next item of business is a members' business debate on motion 18752 in the name of Claire Adamson on Breast Cancer Now Awareness Day 2025 and Wear It Pink. This debate will be concluded without any questions being put, and I would invite those members who would wish to speak in the debate to please press the request to speak buttons, and I call on Claire Adamson to open the debate. Around 7 minutes, please.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. I'm delighted to be speaking in support of the motion, and I thank all those members of the Parliament who supported the motion to allow it to come to the Chamber today. It's recognising Breast Cancer Now Awareness Day for 2025, which takes place on the 24th of October. I'm also delighted to welcome Ciara McDermott and Jen Hardy from Breast Cancer Now, who are with us in the gallery today, and it's wonderful to have them here to mark this important occasion and recognise the vital work that they do with their colleagues every day, including in this Parliament itself. This day is not just a date in the calendar. It's a day of solidarity, hope and determination in the face of one of the most common and devastating diseases affecting people across Scotland, the UK and the world. We commend the vital and tireless work of Breast Cancer Now, the UK's leading breast cancer research and support charity. Their vision is bold but essential, that by 2050, everyone diagnosed with breast cancer will live and be supported to live well. That's not just a mission statement, it's a call to action for all of us, policymakers, researchers, healthcare workers and communities alike. This work matters because breast cancer affects 1 in 7 women in the UK during their lifetime. My own sister started her journey in January of this year. It also matters to men who are diagnosed, often with less awareness and support. And it matters to the families, friends who work alongside them through diagnosis, treatment, recovery and loss. One of Breast Cancer Now's most important, powerful campaigns is the Wear It Pink. Since 2002, it raised over £39 million for breast cancer research and care. Each October, people across Scotland and the UK, in schools, workplaces and homes, wear it pink to fundraise and show their support. And many of my colleagues did that last week. But we do ask that you bring the feather boas back. Here in Scotland alone, Wear It Pink has raised over £2.5 million in the past 5 years. That's an extraordinary contribution, and it shows what can be achieved when people come together with hope and determination. Wear It Pink, a simple act, but it sends a powerful message, and we are united in this fight. So I encourage everyone here in the Chamber and beyond to get involved, whether it's a bake sale, dress-up day or simply a donation. Every action counts. One day, one colour, one powerful message. Presiding Officer, while breast cancer affects people here in Scotland and across the UK, it is also reality faced by millions around the world. Around 4,700 people in Scotland are diagnosed with breast cancer every year. That's more than 12 people every single day. And around 25 men are diagnosed too. Globally, breast cancer is the most common cancer, with over 2.3 million people diagnosed each year and more than 685,000 deaths reported worldwide, according to the World Health Organization. But these figures represent far more than numbers. They reflect the lives, families, friends, colleagues and communities impacted every single day. And this figure reminds us why us gathering to Wear It Pink in the Parliament is so important. We came together in the garden lobby in the Burns Room last week to Wear It Pink and show that solidarity with Breast Cancer Now. and it was wonderful to speak to survivors about their journey. This sense of unity, members, advocates, patients and families standing side by side, demonstrates the strength of the campaign and the determination behind it. And we have made progress. Thanks to the investment in research and early detection, the 5-year survival rate is now over 85%. That's something we can be proud of, but it's not the full picture. For those living with secondary breast cancer, where the cancer has spread and is no longer curable, the outlook is still deeply concerning. It's estimated over 1,000 people in Scotland die of breast cancer each year, many of them from secondary cancer. These patients often don't receive the same level of visibility, data collection or specialised care, and that is something we can change. We must shine a stronger light on secondary breast cancer, and that means better data collection, quicker and more accurate diagnosis, increased opportunities for clinical trials and wider access to specialist support. While a cure may not be yet within reach, people living with incurable cancer deserve time, dignity and the best possible quality of life. Presiding Officer, this year's Awareness Day also gives us a moment to remember someone many of us knew, loved and respected, Christina McKelvey, MSP. Christina was more than a colleague, she was a friend to all, a passionate advocate for equality, dignity and justice. She was someone who consistently fought for those who needed a voice and those who found themselves marginalised, disadvantaged and often overlooked. Her voice in this chamber was powerful and her absence is deeply felt. But we honour her legacy by continuing the work she believed so strongly. Breast cancer affects every part of our society across every postcode and background. It impacts women and men, families. It doesn't discriminate, and neither should our efforts to fight it. Let us use Breast Cancer Now Awareness Day not only to raise funds and wear it pink, but to push forward with purpose. Let us continue to invest in research, ensure equal access to care, and raise awareness for those still fighting and those living with secondary cancer. Thank you, Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Ms Adamson. We will now move to the open debate. Backbench speeches of around 4 minutes. I call Marie McNair to be followed by Stephen Kerr. Ms McNair.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Can I congratulate Claire Adamson, MSP, for securing this very important debate and for all the work she's done in Parliament to raise awareness of breast cancer and the Wear It Pink campaign. I'm pleased to speak in today's debate and pay tribute to my dear friend and beloved colleague, Christina McKelvey. Christina's warmth, kindness and passion for equality drives us all, and in our memory we must push harder to raise awareness and call for more research to ensure no one loses their lives to breast cancer. Presiding Officer, a few months ago I went for my first breast screening, and I'm not afraid to admit I was a bit nervous and apprehensive about it. However, I didn't need to be, as the wonderful Gillian at the Golden Jubilee Hospital in my hometown of Clydebank put me right at ease from the word go and carried out the mammogram with minimal discomfort. The whole procedure took less than 10 minutes, so I would urge anyone who's called for a screening to go, as it can save your life. It is essential, as 1 in 9 women in Scotland will develop breast cancer. Screening can find breast cancer before you notice any symptoms, and you're more likely to survive if it's found early. Even if you're fit and healthy, it is still so important that you attend and check yourself regularly. Breast cancer is the most common cancer in women in the UK, with a woman diagnosed every 9 minutes and a man every day. Thanks to advances in research and treatment, almost 9 in 10 women survive breast cancer for 5 years or more, with breast cancer survival rates doubling in the past 50 years, and it's estimated that routine screening prevents around 1,300 deaths from breast cancer each year in the UK. In the 1990s, Presiding Officer, more than 1 in 7 people died from breast cancer. Today it's 1 in 20. This is a positive improvement, but more needs to be done. And that is why Breast Cancer Now Wear It Pink initiative is so important, raising millions of pounds for life-saving breast cancer research and care. We need to see more work done to increase awareness of secondary breast cancer, for which there is currently no cure. Currently, around 1,000 women die each month as a result of secondary breast cancer, and I agree with Breast Cancer Now that it is a matter of urgency that we dramatically improve outcomes for those whose cancer has spread. Unfortunately, there are also inequalities in relation to cancer. There are inequalities in the risk factors for breast cancer, the uptake of breast cancer screening and survival rates. Lifestyle factors increase the risk of breast cancer, and Public Health Scotland are clear that each of these factors is socially patterned, with people living in deprived areas more at risk. Women on low incomes are less likely to go for breast cancer screening, and breast cancer survival rates are worse in women from more deprived areas, in part due to the lower uptake of breast cancer screening. Public Health Scotland advised that for the 3-year period 2020 to 2023, women from more deprived areas were less likely to attend breast screening, 64.2% from the most deprived areas compared to 82.8% in the least deprived areas. This is something I want to see more action on to ensure everyone can receive a timely diagnosis and treatment to beat breast cancer. My sincere thanks go to Breast Cancer Now for all their amazing work, and to their local coordinator, Kirstine MacDonald, for taking the time to meet with me. In Christina's memory, let us continue to work together to ensure breast cancer no longer takes the lives of those we love. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms McNair. I now call Stephen Kerr to be followed by Jackie Bailey. Mr Kerr.
I would like to be associated with everything that Claire Adamson says in her motion and also in her excellent speech, and recognise Breast Cancer Awareness Day 2025 and commend the vital work of Breast Cancer Now, the UK's leading breast cancer research and support charity, and recognise, as Claire Adamson said, that Wear It Pink is a very effective way of raising awareness. And I am a week late, but I see that the Cabinet Secretary is also wearing pink, but recognise the importance of this campaign and the importance of showing solidarity. Communities demonstrating that they stand with those affected by breast cancer. It's a simple act, but it carries a powerful message of compassion and hope. Presiding Officer, I thank God for the professionalism and compassion of those who treated my wife Yvonne when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. No one forgets the moment when those words are spoken. You have cancer. The room falls silent, the world narrows, and your heart sinks with fear for the one you love. In that moment, everything depends on the people around you. And for Yvonne and me, it was the breast screening services team in Glasgow who first told Yvonne. And I will never forget the quiet calm with which they broke the news. There was no panic, no bluntness, no false reassurance, just steady, compassionate professionalism. They explained what the diagnosis meant and what the pathway ahead would look like, treating Yvonne not as a statistic, but as a woman with fears, hopes, and a family who loved her. The consultant surgeon who cared for Yvonne was equally remarkable. With clarity and sensitivity, she guided us through what surgery would involve. Her calm authority, patience, and absolute dedication gave us reassurance at a time of great fear and uncertainty. And after surgery, Yvonne's treatment moved to the Beatson in Glasgow, and I pay the highest tribute to the staff there. They were at the cutting edge of cancer treatment, but what struck me most was their humanity. They did not simply deliver treatment, they cared. They knew Yvonne's name, they asked after her well-being, they invested themselves in her recovery as though she were one of their own. And I saw that same care extended to every patient who walked through those doors. I cannot speak highly enough of them. And to this day, my gratitude is without limit, because they gave me my wife, and they gave my wife and I the chance of time together, something never again to be taken for granted. That experience taught me that breast cancer is not borne by the patient alone, It is shared by husbands, wives, children, families, friends. And in that regard, I want to pay a special public tribute to Jo Churchill, the former Member of Parliament for Bury St Edmunds and a two-time cancer survivor. During Yvonne's treatment, Jo's empathy and wisdom was a lifeline to me. Her support reminded me that compassion and solidarity matter almost as much as treatment. But the statistics remain sobering. Around 5,500 are diagnosed in Scotland each year, and 1,000 people die. Too many still wait too long for a diagnosis. Too many lack access to the necessary genomic testing. Secondary breast cancer, for which there is no cure, as was mentioned earlier, still blights lives. We must be ambitious, and that means resourcing our screening programme to achieve the 80% target. It means collecting proper data on secondary breast cancer. It means ensuring access to treatments and testing on the NHS, not just privately. So, in support of the motion and of Claire Adamson's speech, I say, let us wear pink with pride. Let us raise funds. Let us commit to Scotland, ensuring that Scotland leads in research, treatment and care. In doing so, we give hope to those who live with breast cancer today and those who will face it tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr Kerr. And I call Jackie Bailey.
Thank you. Can I start by congratulating Claire Adamson on securing this important debate and commend her for her very thoughtful contribution and, like other colleagues, associate myself with her remarks. Like many others, I come to this debate thinking of Christina McKelvey. Now, I first met Christina when she was a young learning and development officer with social work, working to improve the lives of families in Glasgow. And it was absolutely characteristic of Christina that even before she was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2020, she already supported Breast Cancer Now's Wear It Pink campaign, and she responded to a diagnosis by campaigning even harder to encourage women to regularly check their breasts and attend screening appointments. Sadly, though, breast cancer remains one of the main causes of death in Scotland, and the vast majority of those affected are women. As Marie McNair rightly said, 1 in 9 women in Scotland will develop breast cancer, but they are 5 times more likely to survive it if it's caught early. So yesterday, I had the privilege of chairing a meeting with Atos Scotland and Breast Cancer Now to discuss what more progress can be made in screening. Uptake in Scotland right now is just over 75%, and that's good. But that still means that 1 in 4 eligible women are missing this vital opportunity. And while around 80% of women from the least deprived fifth of the population take up screening, among the most deprived fifth, it is 65%. So I urged the Scottish Government to publish the cancer deprivation figures last week, and I repeat that call now, because it's only with accurate data that we can target those who need it most effectively. But raising awareness of screening is only part of the picture. For screening to work, we don't only need women coming in the door, we need radiographers to take scans, radiologists to make diagnosis based on the results. It's the whole journey that matters. And I heard earlier this year from the Society of Radiographers, who warned that many of their members are at the point of burnout. Demand for diagnostic radiography has increased by 11% year on year, and there's no equivalent increase in radiographers or their equipment. Meanwhile, the Royal College of Radiologists' latest census found that there was a 25% shortfall of radiologists in Scotland, which is expected to rise to 35% by 2029. Scotland also has the worst shortage of clinical oncologists who treat cancer of any UK nation. Scottish Labour research published earlier this year found that Scottish hospitals are relying on scanners that in many cases are decades old. So we can do so much better. Can I also mention secondary breast cancer? Because there is a new drug to treat secondary breast cancer, which the Scottish Medicines Consortium considered recently, I believe this week. An announcement is expected next week. but we lack the capacity for the type of genetic testing that is required with this drug. This drug is routinely available to women in NHS England. So I plead with the Minister and the Cabinet Secretary to act quickly to ensure that this drug can be used in Scotland if passed by the SMC. In closing, Presiding Officer, the UK Labour Government did deliver a record budget settlement for Scotland, including around £2 billion extra for Scotland's NHS in 25-26. But it's up to the Scottish Government to ensure that this money is invested appropriately. So let me ask them, the Scottish Government, to commit to investing in scanners, to developing a proper workforce plan, so that women who turn up for screening know that if anything is found, they will have the fastest possible route to treatment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Bailey. And we now turn to Minister Jenny Minto, who will respond to the debate. Around 7 minutes, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I too would like to begin by expressing my sincere thanks to Claire Adamson for raising this very important motion with Parliament today, and to my fellow MSPs who have all provided meaningful and very thought-provoking contributions to our discussion. I too will associate myself with the motion's commendation of the work of the charity Breast Cancer Now. Breast Cancer Now are active members of the Scottish Cancer Coalition, and I greatly appreciate their contribution to the national conversation on issues in relation to breast cancer, and also the vital work they do to support women living with breast cancer in Scotland. And Claire Adamson and others are right to recognise the support that men living with breast cancer get too. I have met with the charity on a number of occasions since I became Minister for Public Health and Women's Health, and look forward to continuing this important collaboration into the future. I know that the charity published their 5-year strategy at the end of September, and I was pleased to note that we continue to be aligned on our priorities for cancer in the coming years, and that their 3 key themes of earlier diagnosis, care and support, and new treatment echo the ambitions of our 10-year cancer strategy for Scotland, which we published in 2023. I think everyone in the chamber was completely correct, and Stephen Kerr talked about the effective way that Wear It Pink is to raise that awareness, but also the messages of care and hope. This motion has also awarded us the opportunity to mark the important contribution of Christina McKelvey.
Keith Brown.
Apologies if I preempted the Minister's next remarks, but just to say that, first of all, I would commend the Scottish Government for approving the drug Enhertu, which is not approved elsewhere in the UK, for which there are campaigns to try and have that available elsewhere. And also just to say, when she mentions about Wear It Pink, and Stephen Kerr said this as well, just to let the select band of members in the chamber know that next year, on the 4th of April, there will be an event, Wear It Pink for Christina, which will continue, I think, 10 to 15 years that Christina hosted Wear It Pink in the Parliament. And it will be available. It's not an SNP event. It's available to, if you can get a ticket, to everyone. And that will continue. The money from that will go in part to Breast Cancer Now, just to bring it to the attention of the Minister and members.
Minister.
I thank Keith Brown for that contribution, and I do hope I'll be able to get a ticket for that. So thank you. As I was saying, the motion has also awarded us the opportunity to mark the important contribution of our dear friend and colleague, Christina McKelvey, to amplify the voices of women with breast cancer in Scotland. We had a very powerful motion of condolence earlier this year for Christina. For me, Christina represented the heart and soul of our party, her determination to make Scotland a better place to live for the generations to come, and her passion to see Scotland thrive as an independent nation meant she dictated her life to encouraging others to speak up and speak out for what is right. She championed so many important causes and was the epitome of what progressive politics should look like. The first time I saw Christina McKelvey speak, I remember thinking to myself, who is this amazing woman? She was full of energy. She spoke with such passion. She owned the room, and simply she held everyone in the palm of her hand. Her demeanour was infectious, and her presence will be forever missed in this chamber. Her focus on supporting minorities and women should be applauded, and her particular focus on women's health meant she was a passionate advocate on all issues in relation to breast cancer, and she had been so, as others have said, before her personal diagnosis. Christina was committed to ensuring women regularly checked their breasts and were aware of signs and symptoms of breast cancer, as well as encouraging all eligible women to attend their appointments at her national breast screening programme. And I'd like to thank Marie McNair for emphasising the importance of that in her contribution. I'm really pleased to be here today to outline just some of the Scottish Government's current actions which we are working on to continue Christina's important legacy in this issue. As others have said,
Claire Adamson.
Thank the Minister for taking the intervention, and I appreciate she's moving on to say what is happening. I just wanted to remember on record that one of the first things that Christina did following her diagnosis was to have the protocols changed about age. I was a couple of months older than Christina. She never let me forget it. but because of the cycle of when people were called, I actually had my first breast cancer screening test 3 years before Christina did, and she changed that to ensure that every woman in their 50th year would have that. Thank you.
Minister.
Claire Adamson raises an incredibly important point there about Christina McKelvey's focus on doing the right thing. So I thank Claire Adamson for mentioning that. We know that 1 in 9 women living in Scotland will develop breast cancer at some stage in their life. Breast cancer is the second most common cancer in Scotland and the most common cancer detected in females. Importantly, however, due to improved detection and treatment options, survival has significantly increased over the last 30 years. Women are 5 times more likely to survive breast cancer if it's caught early, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't stop looking at what new ways we can work, as Claire Adamson just highlighted there. We know that earlier diagnosis is vital. It's why we continue to invest in our Detect Cancer Earlier programme, which encompasses primary care, diagnostics, public education, data, innovation and screening. The programme works closely with the Scottish Cancer Coalition, including Breast Cancer Now, to support awareness-raising efforts and uses social media channels to promote joint content and messaging where possible. Our Be the Early Bird campaign, launched in March 2023, aims to reduce the fear of cancer and empower those with possible symptoms to act early. It has since rerun several times over the last 3 years, specifically targeting at those aged 40+ from areas of deprivation. We're also committed to ensuring that those women who are diagnosed with breast cancer receive the best possible treatment and support. Our strategy has a range of measures aimed at benefiting all those living with cancer, including implementation of a single point of contact to support patients throughout their journey and after discharge. And it was heartening to hear Stephen Kerr's and his wife's experience in the Beatson and previously throughout your wife's treatment. In Scotland, we're proud of our national breast cancer screening programme. All women aged 50 to 70 are invited every 3 years for breast screening, and women over 71 can request an appointment if it has been more than 3 years since her last appointment. My officials are also working with Screening Oversight and Assurance Scotland to implement the recommendations from their breast screening modernisation report, which was submitted earlier this year. The final report will be published in the coming weeks. Christina McKelvey also championed the importance of improving data collection for metastatic breast cancer in Scotland. She shone that light that Claire Adamson mentioned. I also appreciate this is an important issue for breast cancer now, and patients including Jen and Alison, who I was so pleased to meet last Thursday on Wear It Pink Day. In our Cancer Action Plan, we committed to improving data collection for metastatic cancers, starting this process with breast cancer. My officials, along with colleagues in Public Health Scotland, are currently undertaking a thorough review of our options in relation to collecting data on secondary breast cancer in Scotland, taking consideration of clinical time required and how it can be used to improve services. My officials are expecting advice from Public Health Scotland imminently, and following receipt of this, our aim is to agree the best method of data collection by the completion of our Cancer Action Plan in 2026. And I note the points that Jackie Bailey made around the SMC deliberations, and will take that away. I'll finish now by reiterating my thanks to Claire Adamson and all my colleagues for their contributions today, and also to Breast Cancer Now and all the other organisations who provide vital support to women and men living with breast cancer in Scotland. Together, we must build on that legacy of Christine McKelvey and the many other women who have lived with breast cancer.
Thank you, Minister. That concludes the debate, and I suspend this meeting until 2 p.m. Thank you.